Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to today's episode of the Bell Zone, where I go over all things finance, real estate, investing, money, marketing, sales, business, whatever you name it. I talk about it because I want to help you become successful and build wealth for yourself. So the number one thing I wanted to talk about today was why you need passive income. This is vital to your survival. Vital to your survival. That's good. But anyways, passive income. And here's why. There's a couple of things I want to go over with you today. And this is very important. I want you guys to remember this. You guys will always hear me talk about it as it relates to being a passive investor. All right. So passive income, why you need it. Number one, saving your way to retirement does not work. If you're looking to retire, you're looking to create wealth for yourself, generational wealth, all of those things. Number one thing I want you guys to remember is saving doesn't work. Right. Number one, savers are losers. Boom. Savers are losers. If you guys know who Robert Kiyosaki is, that's the rich dad, poor dad guy. Everyone knows who Robert Kiyosaki is. He says that savers are losers. Look, if you're looking to save your way, the money that's currently circulating is all fake. It's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold, silver, no nothing. So it's all fake money. It's all fiat money. So that said, while you are saving money in the bank, your money is actually losing value. It should be put to work. It should be invested in companies, businesses, real estate, like I talk about. That thing has to work. Your money has to work for you and constantly produce. That's important. So that's what I want you to just kind of think through that. Saving money is not going to get you passive investments. Savers are losers. Investors make money. Number two, look, this is the 4% rule. If you were to ever think about your 4% rule, you would have to save $3 million to make $10,000 a month, roughly. All right. How's that work? You were to say, okay, I need $10,000 a month. Here's how you would figure out, or using this 4% rule that people come up with. You would need 10,000 a month, right? 10,000 times 12, 120,000 a year divided by 0.04 or 4%. That's $3,000, which means you would need $3,000 in savings sitting in an account that's going to give you 4% and not lose it to make $10,000 a month if this is what you were looking to do for income. So that's important to know, because if you think about saving money, you would need $3 million. And I can tell you, most people don't have $3 million sitting in an account waiting for them to turn 65. It just ain't going to happen. So next, number three, and I'm not saying you may not, because you may be one of those special type of people, but 80% or 90% of the population in the middle class aren't sitting on $3 million. Even business owners that are middle-class business owners, meaning small business owners who have 20 employees or less, they aren't sitting on $3 million in an account that they can't use for working capital. So the next, your IRA and your 401k plan are failures. That's failures. No spell check on this thing. Are failures. Look, think about it like this. Let's say you did say the $3 million, you got $10,000, whatever. You pulling out $100,000. If you were to pull out $100,000 because you work, you hit 65, you're going to get hit with whatever tax bracket you're in. You're going to be in the 27% tax bracket, whatever tax bracket you're in, which means that at some point along the way for you financially, you saved all this money, you're making $100,000 a year, whatever you did, side projects, whatever, you put that money into your IRA, and then all of a sudden you retire. You're literally going to get the same amount of money that you worked for and get hit with the same tax bill. So you're going to be in the same tax bracket as you were when you were working. Like, it's like financially you didn't make it. You didn't do anything else. So your saving didn't actually move you forward. You're in the exact same place you were before. And that is terrible. That sucks. All right. And here's what else. I think this is an interesting thing. This is the statistic that you can, this stuttering statistic. 95% of Americans, 95% of Americans, right, don't retire at 65 years old. They can't. Most of them say they're going to have to retire at 70 years plus, and some never are going to be able to retire. They've already kind of penciled that in for themselves. And from what I understand, 28% of them die. 28% of us die before 65 years old. So what does that mean? I mean, if you just think about it from that perspective, 95% of Americans are not going to retire. It's not going to be there for them, which means that that whole retirement age thing that we were taught when we were young, we saw our parents, most of us have already seen our parents hit retirement age. And we know that they're either still working, they don't have enough to retire, or they did. And the only reason why they did is because they had passive income somewhere. Right? They hit something that gave them passive income that set them up for more than what they were really looking for either way. That's important to think through, man, because if you go, hey, look, saving doesn't work because the money's not backed by anything, so it's not really doing anything for me. So if I just save up without actually investing that money and helping it multiply for me, work while I don't work, that isn't going to work, right? Like we said. So that's not happening. It would take me to have $3 million saved up to just get $10,000 a month income to sustain where I'm at right now. And if I had an IRA account and I needed $100 and I put in money and I did take out $100,000 because I'm making $100,000 while I'm working or more, whatever. Because think, if you needed more than $100,000, you'd have to save more than $3 million. But when you take out this $100,000, it's going to be taxed at the same taxable income you are today. Because if this is what you make now and then later you take this money out, you're going to get taxed there. And I know that, well, what if I went into this, it's pre-tax dollars or it's after-tax dollars? Okay, fine. But now you've invested less, so you're going to have to save more. It's got you both ways. It's got you coming and going. You go out of one prison cell into the next one. And the only other thing to kind of, and I'm sharing this with you because I want to convince you of something. Hey, 95% of Americans cannot retire at 65. Most think they're going to be at 70 years old or more before they can retire. Some say they're never going to retire. They're never going to be able to save enough to do that. 20% of them are going to die. 28% of them will die before they're 65 anyways, with all the different shit going on in the world. So my whole point here was you need to invest money that gives you some form of passive income. You have to do that at some point in your lifetime. You got to look for it. All right. So the other thing, and let me scare you guys a little more. If you're married or you have a girlfriend or boyfriend married, your spouse, odds are, I would say about 30% from what I read, your spouse is going to die before you. And they're going to live probably anywhere from 7 to 10 years longer than you. If you guys live till a ripe old age. Think about it. Are you even planning? Not your kids, your spouse. Let's say you die today. Like, for example, I'm 50. So if I die today and Sharon lives another 30 years, hypothetically, Sharon's 53. Sharon lives till 83 years old. She's going to need some passive income that carries on outside of me. That's why we're doing the real estate. That's why we have the fund. So if I die, we're going to continue to acquire assets, raise capital because it's a company, it's a fund, and she's going to continue to get passive income from these investments because I created a company for that. I created a company so you guys can invest with us, so you can invest. And then if something were to happen to you or you're not a part of this 30% part of your spouse, your husband, your wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, like at some point, if you were to pass on, they continue to get it. Your kids continue to get it. That's the thing about passive income. It works when you don't. Because let me tell you, if you drop dead today, your job's not going to continue to write a check for you to do the work that you ain't around to do anymore. That just doesn't happen anymore. All right. Number 3. I can write this here because this is number 2. Right? Number 3. When you get older, right? So you get older, your bills don't go down, they go up. Right? I saw this as a statistic and I had to check this out for myself. I was like, dude, no way. So like, if you're going to live to, like we talked about as a spouse, if you and your spouse, let's say your spouse lived to from 65 to 85, you're going to need $700,000 plus. You can expect to pay $700,000 plus just in medical bills. Because when I looked at it by itself as one person can expect to pay anywhere from $275,000 to $350,000 in medical expenses. And if you're a couple, you can expect to pay anywhere up to $700,000 in medical bills. So the older you get, your bills don't come down. You know how you're like, oh, well, little Timmy moves and little Johnny moves and little Janie moves. Look, when they move, you're not going to have less bills. Just because you need less doesn't mean your bills won't continue to go up. With inflation, cost of medical insurance, hell, property insurances, cost of goods, all of it is going to drive cost of everything up. So as you get older, everyone that gets older thinks the older you get, the less expenses you have. Well, it's actually it's reverse. The older you get, the more expenses go up on you. And if you can't keep up with that, man, you're going to have a huge problem. So, and last but not least, why you need passive income is because you just enjoy your life more, right? You enjoy life more, but more importantly than more, you can enjoy it now, right? You don't want to wait till you're old. Like, think about that. You don't want to wait till you're old to start enjoying your life with your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, with your wife, with your kids, whatever it is. Like, age has nothing to do with when you get the opportunity to step out and retire. Just take a step back. If you have a business and you have enough passive income coming in from investments, from your real estate stuff, investing with us, investing on your own, investing in your business, you can take a step back and replace yourself, right? We call it an exit. You can exit off the org board, or you can exit out of the business totally and sell your company. If you're working, you have money that you've been putting away, you can actually be passively, financially free through passive income today in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Age is not an indicator of when you retire, right? And you heard me say earlier about the 95% of people. So if you do a study on the 5%, so 95% of the people aren't able to retire, but the 5% that did, they typically invested in one major category. They have passive income coming in from real estate. Most of them, 90% of them, had their investments and passive income coming through real estate because of the benefits of real estate. And that's from passive income. So if you guys think this isn't important, man, it is important. Number one, I'm really trying to share with you and convince with you why saving doesn't work. And I'll do a quick recap, man, because I think it's valuable to do. You need passive income. I'm selling you on that fact. I want to convince you. If you're like, hey, should I save my way or should I invest with this fund manager syndicator, Victor Bell over here? Like, first things first, savers or losers. That's not me. I think that's a little rash. I don't think saving is wrong, but you don't save to save. You save or you stockpile money so you can invest, right? So, but savers or losers, period. If you think saving instead of getting your money to work for you while you sleep is a bad thing, you're wrong, because I can tell you it's not going to be there for you in the future. And if you use the 4% rule number 2, and you needed $10,000 income a month, you would need to save up $3 million if you use the rule of that rule of 4% in some type of investment vehicle, right? Which we do, right? Next, if you have money just sitting, parked, dying in a failed account, which is an IRA 401k, which are failures, and you needed to take out $100,000 at 65, you're still going to get taxed at the same amount that you are today because you're in the same situation, right? So you didn't do anything financial. It's not setting you up for the success in the future. Why? Because you're still going to pay taxes on that same money. So it's almost like you're still working, living off of the same amount that you can't live off today unless you plan for that. And last but not least, 95% of Americans, they don't get the opportunity to retire at 65. Most of them think 70% because there was a study that was done, and they were saying, hey, I won't be able to retire until I'm 70 years old or more. And some of those other ones are like, dude, I don't think we're ever going to retire because we're never going to be able to save enough for that. That's huge. 28% of the people before they even get to 65 are probably going to die out anyways. And 100%, you all need passive income truly to make this happen if you're going to do that. All right. Last but not least, if you're married, or not last but not least, oh yeah, I'm recapping. So, but if you're married, 9 times out of 10, or at least 30% of you guys, your spouse is going to pass away, or you will die before your spouse, and you need to have some type of future passive income coming in to continue on with your spouse. If they live 5, 7, 10, 20, 30 years after you're already gone, what are you doing to set that up for them? All right. You can't do that with your job. Your savings not going to supply that. So you need to have some type of passive income coming in from some investments that you made. All right. This one was, oh yeah, as you get older, your expenses don't go down as you get older. They actually go up. All right. So again, like I said, if a couple lives to 80 years old, they can expect to pay anywhere from $70,000. That's a crazy amount of money as it relates to for their medical bills. because it's about 350,000 or so per person. If you are a couple, you guys go from 65 to 80 over that course of time. You can expect to spend that, man. That's a lot of money. You need to be prepared for that. That is not your living expenses. That's extra. You got to plan for this stuff, man. You got to get this thing right. That's why passive income is so important. And last but not least, man, you want to enjoy your life now. Think about it like this. Let's say you went on vacation. It is a lot more fun having sex with your spouse in some foreign hotel now, not when you're 70 or 80 years old, where you're like struggling to get your get your knees to unlock. I'll say that. But anyways, you start to enjoy life now. You don't have to wait. Passive income, you don't have to age and retirement have nothing to do with each other. Passive income has everything to do with when you can take a step back and become what I call financially flexible. You can leave, you can stop your job, you can quit your job. You can walk away from the business for a couple of months because you have passive income, you have business and employees, or you have passive income and you don't have to do your work. If you're a doctor, you can pick the days that you want to work. You can, if something happens in your practices, you don't have to be stuck there. If you're an attorney, man, you can be like, hey, you know what? I had a buddy of mine. He's like, dude, I'm retiring. He took a step back from his practice, right? Because he has passive income coming in, right? From real estate, from other investments. Like, you have to start thinking through these things about passive income, right? I want to share that way. And I say right a lot. Passive income is going to be the holy grail, or cash flow. Passive cash flow is what you guys need. All right. So I hope I'm convincing you of that. Saving doesn't work. You need to do that now. Waiting till you turn 65 to get money out from because you try to save it, that's not going to be there for you. Your bills are not going to go down as you get older. They're going to come up on you. And most people can't retire anyways. Some of you guys are going to die early. And if you do die early, are you going to leave anything to your family that helps them continue on without taking from them? These are things that you need to do today, not wait till later. So I hope this thing helps you. I don't think it's confusing. I think it's spot on, because these are the things that most people need to understand as they're thinking through, should I invest? Should I save or should I invest? Should I try to do this on my own, or should I invest with a syndicator like Victor, that's a fund manager that's raising money and they're investing money into these apartment buildings that is going to kick off passive income to me. And if something happens to him, it's going to keep coming to me. If something happens to me, it's going to keep going to my family. These are things I want you to think about rather than just think about, I'm going to save. Don't save. Invest. Savers don't win. Winners don't save. And I want you to be a winner with me. All right. So if you guys need anything, let me know. Reach out to me. If you have questions, leave a comment. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you hate this video, give it a thumbs down. Don't be a hater and a hider at the same time. I appreciate you guys. Oh, subscribe to my channel, like my channel, share my video with somebody. If this makes sense for you, if you needed to see this, let me know. Because I don't do a lot of talks like this. I talk to a lot of business owners, small business owners, professionals, things like that, salespeople. So this information I think is important because this is good, man. You gotta, sometimes you have to hear, even if you know this already, it's good to hear it again so you can take action on it. All right. I hope you guys have a great day today. Let's go.